Today we're going to talk about how you can repurpose YouTube videos into SEO blog posts. Let's get straight into it. Today I'm using make.com, which is a no-code workflow automation platform. We often use it in our AI automations because it lets us join together different apps and tools. So the YouTube video I'm going to repurpose today is one of my own. So I previously made a video on how you can repurpose Instagram Reels into YouTube Shorts. So what we want to do is turn this into a blog post. Because this is the tutorial, the blog post is going to be in a tutorial style format as well. So initially what we're going to do with this automation is just put in a single YouTube video and get a blog post at the end. But if you're actually doing this at scale, what you want to do is one of two things. So one is you might want to keep a list of YouTube videos you want to repurpose. So you can do that in Airtable or Google Sheets. So as an example, you might do something like, if you have a list of YouTube URLs in Airtable, you can do a search records and put it at the very beginning. So you would search all the records with the YouTube videos that you want to repurpose, and then you can run this automation in bulk. You could do the same for Google Sheets. And the other one is if you monitor a YouTube channel, so when they have new videos coming out, you repurpose them automatically. Cool. So that's how you would apply this, but let's talk through how you actually do the crux of this, right? Like, how does the logic work? So the first step is really to get the transcript of the YouTube video that you want to repurpose. In this case, I just have the URL here, and I'm using the Dumpling AI Get YouTube Transcript module. Very simple to use. I've just pasted in the URL. If you're doing it from Airtable or something like that, just put in the relevant URL variable here. You can return the timestamps for the transcript. We don't need it just because we're rewriting. We're not doing anything else. And this other stuff is just default, and I've kept the language as English as the preferred language. The first one here is really just using GPT-4o. You can use Claude 3.5 as well. All I'm doing is telling the large language model to take the video transcript and turn it into a clear and easy to follow tutorial blog. And this prompt you can tweak depending on what sort of content you are repurposing. So if it's like entertainment content, then you obviously wouldn't use this prompt because you are not making tutorials. I'm getting it to return HTML purely for this tutorial because the way I have it set up is it just emails me the final blog post. But if you want it to auto-publish into WordPress, Webflow, or your CMS, you might need to sort of output your blog post in a different format. So once I've done that, I've set the max tokens to 3,000 just so it has a bit of room to write the blog post, and I've kept it super simple. That's all I have here. And you can see here, obviously, don't forget to pass in the actual transcript, the YouTube transcript, so that it knows the contents of the YouTube video. The second large language model run I have here is really to generate the metadata for the blog post. So you can see here, I'm asking it to generate the title, tags, as well as a image for the blog post. And the way I'm doing the image is using the new Flux 1 models. You can use DALL-E 3, or you can even just pull the thumbnail from the YouTube video as well. So really up to you how you want to go about this. I'm using Flux 1 to generate a image. And the prompt here is again quite simple. I'm just telling it, given the blog post at the bottom, which is this, and I've passed in what it just wrote, please give me title, tag, and the image prompt. And I've told it to respond in JSON format, and I've specified the JSON format for it to respond in. And then what I've done here is set max tokens 500 because titles aren't that long, and I don't want the image prompt to be very long either. So max tokens of 500. And then down here, I've set the response format to be JSON output, and I wanted to parse the JSON response. So the reason I've done JSON output here is because I'm outputting 3 different things that I want to use separately. If you're just outputting one thing, then you probably don't need JSON object output. But because I'm outputting 3 different things, being title, tags, and image prompts, I need the JSON output. And because I'm outputting it as JSON and I'm parsing it, you can see now I can use the title, the tags, and the image prompt separately in my make automation. So this is a huge tip for you to use because I see a lot of people when they reach out to me, they're running the ChatGPT module or OpenAI GPT-4o module multiple times, so 3 times in a row, when you could do it just once by itself and just do the JSON object output and save that time. The reason I didn't do it for this initial blog generation step is because I find that the JSON object format output doesn't do super well when you need to generate long form text. So if I'm doing long form, I try to keep it separate, but if it's shorter like this, so titles, tags, that sort of stuff, I do the JSON object output. It's faster, it's more efficient, and yeah, why not, right? So once I've done that, I'm using Flux1. So I'm using that via the dumpling AI module. There's generate image, and I'm just using the flux.1/dev, which is the middle of the line in the Flux1 family. And I'm just using the image prompt, and I've just written here, do not include any text in the image, because while Flux1 is quite good at including text, it's still not 100%. So just for my sanity, I just say do not include any text, and I've just changed the image size to landscape 16:9 and kept everything else blank or default. So what this will do is it'll give me the URL of the image right here. And what I do here is I just download the image and then email it to myself. So you can see here, I'm just emailing myself. I've got the blog post title, got the tags, and then I've got the content. So with the Gmail module, you have to use HTML, which is what these tags are. But again, as I mentioned before, depending on if you're writing to Webflow, if you're literally just saving it into a Google Sheet, Airtable, or WordPress, the output formats and how you sort of save it will be slightly different. And down here, I'm just saving the image that I just downloaded, generated, and then downloaded. So that's the crux of the logic for getting a YouTube video and turning it into a blog post. The power of this is not running it one at a time, which is what I'm doing here. The power of it is what I talked about before, right? Which is you have lots of YouTube videos. Let's say you run this on 50 YouTube videos at once, 100 YouTube videos at once, then this will save you heaps of time. The other benefit here is when you're monitoring your own YouTube channel. So as part of my workflow, right, every time I publish a YouTube video, I want it to be turned into a blog post for myself, which I then take and then edit and then publish to my blog. So that automation where it automatically kicks off that process saves me a lot of time and also reminds me to do those blog posts. So either you do it in bulk or you set up that automation. If you're just doing a one-off, I would recommend just using ChatGPT or Claude normally. Not much point in setting up the automation. It's only if you're doing it in bulk or setting up the automation. Anyways, this is the output that I just got when I ran it earlier. You can see the titles up here. I didn't format the title and the tags in the email body, but this is the blog post that came out in HTML. You can see it's nicely formatted. It's actually a pretty good representation. It covers basically everything I talked about in my actual YouTube video. This is actually really good. Like, it saves me so much time. All I have to do afterwards is just check it and add in some screenshots, and it's pretty much good to go. This is the image. Like I said before, the image is not 100%. So I sort of look at the image as, if it's good, I'll use it. If it's not good, it's like a point of inspiration for me to then go find something else to use in my blog. But yeah, that's basically it for this tutorial. If you have any thoughts, questions, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment below. But if you enjoyed this video or you learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. And I'll see you in my next video.